Hey, Assalamu alaikum. It's Nyla, Coach Nyla.
Assalamu alaikum, it's Coach Fatimah.
And in this episode,
I
right?
forgot. Outstanding. I'll say it after I say my name.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'll do that.
Let's do it.
Okay. Hey, Salam. It's Nyla, Coach Nyla.
Assalamu alaikum, it's Coach Fatimah with OutstandingPersonalRelationships.com.
And in this part of navigating marriage minefields, we are going to talk about communication and how to have healthy communication in your marriage and between co-wives. Because we are doing this together.
And we're co-wives.
Co-wives.
For those of you that don't know by now, we are co-wives. So yes, we want to talk about some ways to have healthy communication, because some people communicate, but it can be very negative. So today, that's what we're going to be talking about. And one of the first things that we both have found out is that you need to give yourself permission to have difficult conversations, or just to even communicate, period.
Exactly.
And I found that a lot of times you'll find out that maybe some of you have the same stressors as your co-wife does.
Same stressors, likes, dislikes.
Exactly, exactly.
You'd be like, what? I thought it was just me.
Right. And another thing that's really powerful is that you really, if you're going to have communication, let's say outside of your relationship with your co-wife or in your marriage, you always want to remember to speak to people that love your family.
Right.
Because we all kind of know what happens when you don't speak to people that love your family. They can create unnecessary drama.
A lot of drama.
Yeah, a lot of drama.
It just a lot of pain and stress. And you can look at their relationships, and sometimes they're not happy.
They're not happy.
And then they don't want you to be happy. And then you got some of them that they're happy, or they may be happy, and they just want to do what's best for you. They want to talk about what's best for you.
Yeah, they want to tell us what's best for our family, or how we should communicate. It's one thing to look at us and say, okay, this is what they should do, but you're not, in our family, and we know the best thing to do for our particular situation.
Right.
So sometimes you could be given advice and really cause unnecessary stress, like we were talking about, or drama, or maybe plant a seed that you didn't want to plant. So part of having healthy communication is speaking to people that actually love your family and don't wish to see it destroyed. Because I think some of that, sometimes it happens where people actually want to see it destroyed completely. Not that you're just unhappy, but they want to see it dismantled all the way together.
Right, because why should you be happy? I'm not happy. Why should you have a happy family? Why should you have a happy life?
Right.
We call them the destroyers.
Right. Another thing that, and we've talked about this, is staying in contact with each other and asking. Like, I know for a fact that if I need something, my children need something, if Nyla can provide it, she always does, and likewise.
Likewise, it's vice versa.
Yeah, I do, exactly. I do the same thing for her. I would never think not to do that, because I want for her what I want for myself, and we know in our culture we're big on that. That's part of our worship. So I always want to make sure she's okay, that she's healthy. If I'm sick, she always asks me if I need anything. So being there for each other is really, really big, and checking in on each other.
Right.
And that's another thing, give each other permission to check in on each other. That's healthy communication as well.
Because, like you guys know, we said at the beginning, we're co-wives. And I know sometimes people are like, well, has it always been that way? Has your communication always been, not necessarily. No, it wasn't. But you can change and you can grow.
Right.
And I think that when you do grow, you communicate better, which we're trying to help you guys do with this.
Right.
When you communicate better, your family grows, your relationship gets better, and people on the outside can't poke those holes. People on the outside can't destroy the stuff that you have, because your communication is so much stronger.
Right. I agree with that 100%.
So that actually takes us to like the assumptions and
the
arguments
assumptions
stuff.
and the arguing of it all. What I like to do, what we both practice, is if we need to find something out, we're good at asking each other.
Yep.
And when we do ask each other, we stay away from the negative biases and accusatory language.
Exactly, right.
You know,
because you don't know. You don't know. You don't go and accuse a person of something because you're trying to find out the big picture, find out what happened.
And work together on a resolution.
Exactly.
We had an incident maybe last year, and it was just something small with the kids, but sometimes kids get things wrong. And and so I called mom. I have to call mom and find out, well, what do you know about it? And then I'll tell you what I know about it, and then let's fix it. Because it's not, oh, this happened, and how could, then why didn't you stop it? And you don't know what is happening in anyone's house unless you're in there witnessing it yourself. So the best thing for me to do, and she would do the same for me, is ask her, what does she know about whatever. I don't even remember what it was, but I would ask her, what does she know about it? And she would ask me, and then we would try to find a resolution. We know what the problem is, so we don't need to be problem oriented.
Exactly.
We need to be solution oriented.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and we try our best to, you know, I can really be proud and happy and feel good about the fact that we have not gotten into any drama where we're arguing or I just can't even imagine that. But that's not everybody's situation.
Right.
But to avoid the arguing, sometimes people just need clarity.
That's it.
And
a lot of time it is clarity.
Yeah, they
like
need to figure it out. And
Right.
and I notice if people don't have that, then you can get hurt or you're lost, and then you start to think, oh, they did it on purpose, and then the assumptions come, and we just, you know, to avoid the assumption, get clarity.
Right.
And then you'll find out you feel much better.
Exactly.
If you understand what's going on.
Okay, I get it. I would have thought the same way.
Or see somebody else's side. Put yourself in somebody else's shoes. That's always really awesome to practice. I think, especially in a co-wife situation where you are parenting children, and I have a 6-year-old son, and he gets stuff wrong all the time. So I always
the kids just do that. They're just good at doing things like that.
They're good. He's kind of good at shaking
they
things up.
They have their imagination. Yes. It's not just you know, our 6-year-old. Now I would say our 6-year-old.
Right. Because we both parent, we both help parent him.
Yeah, we co-parent, of course, and we co-parent well, and that's for another video.
Yeah, that's for another video.
We're gonna give some tips on that as well.
Yes.
But yeah, the little ones, they're good at that because their imaginations are just amazing.
Yes.
But then the other thing too with combating the assumptions and the arguments and things like that, realize that you're individual. You know,
Absolutely.
Realize that. Respect the individuality of the person. I'm not going to make her be me, and she's not going to make me be her. Right. It's like we have some similarities and some things that we both like. And I'm like, man, that is nice.
We're different.
But we're different.
Yeah, like, you know, with Nyla, you know, I love a good mall trip. She does too. But she might not want to go on a busy Saturday where there's thousands of people.
So true.
And I'm not going to ask her to do that.
Definitely not during shopping season.
Yes.
Like she and I, we can go when it's just
a Monday. And it's quiet.
I like that.
Yeah, and but again, I would never ask her to go and, you know, deliberately go, you know what, I'm going to make you uncomfortable today. Let's go to the mall on a Saturday where there's 8 million teenagers and people bumping into you. And I wouldn't do that. So I respect her individuality. So I think that's really important. We both think that's important. You have to know each other's boundaries, personality-wise.
And that comes with communicating with each other.
Absolutely.
And I guess, okay, so one thing I have a question, I know people probably will wonder and ask, like, okay, well, how do you communicate? You know, you're in this situation, like, how do you start the communication? What would you suggest? How would we start the communication process?
What we do, we're big on texting. We're a texting family, and if it's something that we feel like we need to really have a lengthy conversation, we call each other.
Yeah, and then we'll ask you like, hey, are you available to talk?
Oh yeah, you have
to
because you have children to mother, and you have errands to run and appointments, and you're not home, and sometimes you're in traffic and you can't talk. So I always like to, we both like to figure out what's the best time to talk to each other, is scheduling.
Exactly. Scheduling. That's a good thing.
And know that if she's not available, that's okay.
Yeah.
So I don't stay in the judgment and go, oh, she won't talk to me today, and she doesn't have time for me.
And I don't do
Never.
that either. And that's the thing, the assumptions. It's going back to the assumptions. Like if a person don't have the time, or they say, you know what, maybe we can do it later. Yeah. Don't take it personal.
No, it's not personal.
It's not personal.
You would do that with anyone, but I think especially when you're co-wives, you need to respect each other's time and space. Maybe you didn't get sleep last night. You know,
Oh,
you have
exactly.
You have to go, okay, maybe it's not good for me to call her at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Let me feel her out and see when's a good time to communicate with her. Sit down and have coffee or something like that. You can go places together.
Yes, it's okay.
You can go places. Give yourself permission to leave the house together and be seen.
Be seen together.
Because
it's okay.
People are going to see you when you're by yourself or when
you're with your spouse.
When you're with your spouse, so it's okay to go places together and have coffee or have some tea together, catch a movie, anything. You know, I was thinking roller skating, and then I was thinking about me falling and roller skating. But I'll just hold the wall and have Nyla on the other side of me because, you know, I'm not 25 anymore. I'm breaking hip. So, and that goes into respecting each other's space. We've created boundaries. So I'm not going to text her at 1 a.m. She will never text me. Now, if somebody is sick,
it's an emergency. And that's the thing, because we know that. Those are the boundaries. We know that if you're getting a call at 1 in the morning, or you're getting a text at that time in the morning, it's serious.
It's somebody's either passed away, or one of the children is sick, or one of us is sick.
Right.
Something serious is going on, because we would not do that. I don't like disturbing people's sleep, and she doesn't either.
Right.
I think, especially when you're parenting and you're running all day, the sleep is precious. So it's not, you know, call her at 1 a.m. and say, "Hey, girl, what you
doing? How was your day?"
I'm asleep.
So we ain't get to talk later earlier today.
Yeah.
We're going to talk right now.
Right. Yeah, so, and also we're very mindful of being authentic and genuine when we communicate.
Oh, yeah.
So we don't have an attitude when we do communicate.
Or we're, "Hey, girl," but in the back of your mind, you're like,
it's
I don't even know why she calling.
Right, because we're still sisters in Islam, and I really would love for people to, you know, understand that we do, culturally we're sisters. So there's rights I would like to give her as a Muslim sister of mine, practicing our religion. But in polygyny especially, I would want to make sure I'm mindful of being authentic and being in tune with how she's feeling. If I can hear that she doesn't feel well, I'm going to talk to her at another time. I'm not going to try to make her go
picks up on that, like,
like, "Are you sick?"
we were in the car, and she was like, "Girl, how you doing?" I was like, "Man, I ain't getting no sleep." I was she was like, "You know what? Okay, it's going to be okay."
Because we've all done that, and it's good to say, you know, give yourself permission also to say how you do feel genuinely. I'm tired. You know, I'm happy, or I didn't sleep last night.
And she can say something, I'm like, "Oh my God, that was so funny." And I'm like, I feel good now. And even the company, just being around that energy, because I can be tired. And if I'm around some good energy,
we're going to have a ball.
It's going to be on.
I prided myself on being the life of the party, but I know when to reel that in and say, okay, this person is tired. She, you know, today's not a good day. And then just keep it moving. Also, we're very mindful of body language. I'm a hugger. She's a hugger. And we hug each other every time we see each other. And I might have had a horrible morning, but I'm going to give her a hug because she wasn't part of my horrible morning. We make sure of that.
You can feel the energy. Like that energy is... But like, even when she said with the tiredness, that's being mindful of the body language. That's being mindful of, you know, what's going on or how a person is feeling. They probably even had a rough day, but even caring about that and saying, you know what, how you feeling? You know,
and tell the truth.
Whatever. And then you tell the truth. It's like,
and then maybe you find that your co-wife can help you with something that might have brought that energy in the room for you. That you know, I think about, like, if there's somebody that passed away in our, you know, relatives or with our families, we'll reach out and let each other know, okay, let me know if you need anything, I'm here, and we allow each other to do that and be there for each other. So I know if I need something and she's just, you know, a few blocks away from me, I'm going to reach out and, you know, let her know. Or if she needs a ride, if I need a ride, or if, you know, we need something from the store or something like that, I'm available, she's available to help. And maybe that might be a stressor in your day.
Right.
I can't get to the store. Ask each other, are you at the store? Do you need something?
Right.
A cup of sugar or whatever?
It's always a
Telling
cup
my
of sugar. Maybe some bread, butter, and
Right.
a gallon of milk.
Right. And then, so we're mindful of body language is important, tone. We don't call each other with attitudes, and we're very conscious of each other's personality types.
Right. So that's pretty much the deal, navigating these this marriage minefields.
Yeah.
And this is more than just between co-wives. This is
Exactly.
all around the board.
Right.
You can utilize these same tips and these same steps when you're talking with your spouse, when you're talking with family members. But when it comes to having proper communication and proper relationships,
Right.
you know,
You
these
can start,
tips.
yeah. And make sure you do these things in your day to day. This is not a one-time thing. Like I did my minefield tips and I'm done. You have to keep practicing. And we've been doing this for years.
Right.
We've been doing this for years. So I feel safe at saying, and I feel like I can speak for the both of us, we practice these things every day. Now, it wasn't always that way, and it took some growth and some time, but we were really invested fully and willing to do the
That's
work.
that part.
Yeah.
Realize that even if it wasn't like that at first, you can get better. You can get there, and it's a process. When
Yes,
they say
and
it doesn't happen in a day, it happens over time. It's a process.
Yes.
It happens daily.
Yeah,
Not
so
in a
work
day.
every day. Do your work every day. So if you want to be married and you do have a co-wife and you want happiness, happiness is always worth fighting for. So
definitely working
you
on
win in the end if you do your work. But that's that word work. It's not these tips and I did them and this goes behind the
Only time success comes before work is in the dictionary.
Right. So make sure you download the worksheets for the navigating the marriage minefield, and also visit us
subscribe to the email list. Visit us at outstandingpersonalrelationships.com.
And we'll see them in the next
video. Be true. Be the best you.
And adding value to yourself is always priceless. We'll see you in the next one.
Salam.
Salam. Peace.